Welcome to Creative Conversations with Roger Humphrey, the fine arts podcast where I get to talk with composers, performers, authors, visual artists, filmmakers, and others in the arts. Before we begin, please hit the like, follow, or subscribe buttons. It's a very easy thing to do, and it goes a long way towards supporting the channel, and it really does help a lot. Hey, if you or someone you love plays guitar or ukulele, please consider visiting my website at www.rogerhumphrey.com and looking at the many things I have to offer. Much of it's for free. If you like what you see, please take a moment to subscribe. I promise I won't send you any spam, just occasional updates. Ana-Marija Markovina is a pianist, and she's just released her recording of the complete works of Fannie Mendelssohn Volume 1. There's more to come. And she's previously recorded the works of C.P.E. Bach and Hugo Wolf, Felix Mendelssohn, and so many others to great acclaim. And I am so very pleased to welcome her to this show. Hi, Ana-Marija. Thank you for coming on the show.
Hi, Roger. Thank you for being here.
Oh, my pleasure and honor. So I have to say right out of the chute that I am not familiar with Fannie Mendelssohn Hensel. I mean, I know the name. I know she was Felix Mendelssohn's sister. That is the extent of my knowledge. So what should we know about her?
That she's so much more than that. That is to start.
I would hope.
For me, Felix is the little brother of Fanny.
Okay.
Just to say, yeah. So this person is one of the, I think, most charismatic personalities of the 19th century.
Oh.
She was a big artist, a big human being, a great woman, and completely underestimated now. Because she was estimated in her time. It's a little bit the story of C.P.E. Bach. C.P.E. Bach was the famous Bach, yeah, you know, and then he was forgotten. And a little bit is the story of Fanny. The only thing is she was not really very good in publishing for many reasons. I will come back to this point.
Okay.
But she was famous. Everybody knew who she was, who she is. And she was in high claim, and she was absolutely established in the cultural society, in the cultural scene of her time.
So being being a woman didn't hold her back.
No, not at all. Not at all. You must imagine, let's go a little bit back.
Okay.
Her grandfather was the famous Moses Mendelssohn. So he's the philosopher of the Age of Enlightenment, the imperative of tolerance. And what is to be said about the Age of Enlightenment? It's about using your own brain, using your ratio, being free in your decisions and not depend on the regime, on the monarchy, or on the church. So it was a very big movement of freedom. And if you think about Voltaire, you think about Kant, sapere aude, sapere aude, so now here it is. And Lessing, of course, and then Moses Mendelssohn. If you think about all the big philosophers, you see the spirit in which her parents grew up.
Okay.
So Abraham Mendelssohn was the son of Moses Mendelssohn, and he was educated in this spirit of freedom and tolerance. And the first child of the couple was, of course, not supposed to be a woman in the corner. From the beginning, she had a very, very high education.
Wow.
She was treated, there was no difference between the man and the woman, the boy and the girl. And when Felix was born, he was 3 years and 2.5 months younger.
Okay.
They were educated together.
Oh.
So again, there was no difference. He was just younger. And he was also brilliant, and she loved him very much. The problem was, in the 19th century, in the early 19th century, there were no professions for women. You couldn't choose a profession.
Right.
It was existing. So if you have to earn money, let's imagine that she had to earn money, the only way was to give piano lessons or to be in charge of keeping a house or something like this.
Sure.
But she was unbelievably rich. It was one of the richest family in whole Europe.
Oh, wow.
Not
I did
only,
not know that.
yeah, they were extremely rich, wealthy. So the question of earning money was not, how can I say?
Not a
It was
problem.
not about, yeah, it was not only not important, it was simply no subject. And if you think ahead, the point is you can make music, but why should you earn money? Felix was another thing. He was traveling, he was independent, and he wanted to earn money, and it was somehow legal. But
Uh-huh.
for a woman, it was not established. So she was at home, which was wealthy property,
Sure.
and she had all the possibilities. So when she was educated, she met Wilhelm Hensel, her later husband. She fell in love with him when she was 16, and she told him, "I envy you because you learned everything by yourself." He had to fight for everything he wants to know. She said, "When we show, Felix and me, when we show a little bit of interest, immediately we have a teacher in the house." Because the parents were pushing them, all of them, yeah, learn, read, think, write,
Sure.
compose, play, yeah. So the childhood of Fanny and Felix was full of creativity, freedom, and inspiration. There
Wow.
was no suppression, yeah. And then her big love, Wilhelm Hensel, was sent. He had a scholarship to go to Rome. And the problem was the parents have not been very happy with him. First of all, because Bella was against everybody. Her little sister had the same problem later. But the other point was he was thinking about becoming Catholic. And the Mendelssohn family just converted to the Protestantism.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a
And
problem.
of course, they were Protestants coming from the Age of Enlightenment. So they couldn't accept the Catholic dogma. I don't know in English how you say, but if the
That's
Pope
exactly how you say it.
ex cathedra, yeah. So there is no mistake if the Pope is speaking ex cathedra, and that is something Abraham and Bella could never accept. This being humble under a church.
Right.
They were really afraid that if he comes back, he could convert to Catholicism. And when he came back, he did it not. And he had also a position as a Hofmaler at the court of Prussia. They said, "You can marry him now." When she married Wilhelm, it was a very special moment because, first of all, Wilhelm loved her very much. He was 10 years older, and he was supporting her like this,
Uh-huh.
very tenderly and admiring her, and always pushing her to work. So she was not the woman in the kitchen. She had to organize a little bit, but she was the artist, or the artist. Yeah?
Yes.
And then, very early, even before her marriage, she started to be an impresario. So she was organizing very big events, not only concerts.
Oh,
The
wow.
Winter Garden in the Leipziger Straße, in the Leipziger Street in Berlin, they had a Winter Garden for 300 people.
Okay.
And she made these concerts every 14 days, every
Really?
3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was quite a job.
Yeah.
At these concerts, she was performing, conducting. She had the rehearsal. She made the invitation. So she was the networker in the family. And an invitation to one of those concerts. And it was, it was a big, how can you say, a big honor. So Liszt played there, Schumann played there, Clara played there, Joseph Joachim played there.
Wow.
Everybody who had a name was very flattered to be invited to play at the Winter Garden of the
Wow.
Mendelssohn, called Sunday Music, Sonntagsmusik. Yeah?
Uh-huh.
And when she married, she had a little break and she started again because Felix was out of the house and he was traveling and doing his things and she missed him so much. But she started to develop these concerts even more. So she was organizing, she was playing, she was writing, she was performing. She was made so many first performances, not only of her own pieces, but of Felix pieces, of Liszt pieces, of Schumann pieces, of whoever wrote.
Wow.
Yeah, theater and choir, and you know, many things were first performed at this place. So you could never say she was suppressed because she was a woman. This is simply not true. This is simply not true.
I'm
And then
out,
at a certain point,
I'm out of
sorry?
breath just hearing it. I mean, I'm trying to keep up with her would be very
Yeah.
difficult.
You're much more yeah, than anybody. And she said, I want to make the high culture. So in this Wintergarten, there were Bach played, performed, and Beethoven.
Okay.
Ah. And in the Schauspielhaus at the Gendarmenmarkt, there were Meyerbeer and Kalkbrenner. You understand? So there was more the light music, yeah, motionless. So the high virtuoso, superficial pianists, high stars. But in her place, where she was the boss, there was the serious music. So there was Bach and C.P.E.
Wow.
and so on.
Wow.
Mhm.
So you've done, you've done volume one. How many more volumes will there be to complete the cycle?
A second volume, but I don't know how many CDs, 4 or 5. I don't know yet.
Okay, and there's 4 CDs in the first volume. Is that, okay? So I've had a chance to listen to some of it, and I was absolutely stunned by the beauty of the music, but also the way you played it, and also the way it was recorded. Um, I've become a big fan of yours immediately, and I am shamelessly so. I think the playing is beautiful. But the thing that I was impressed by your playing, and I'll try to say this as complimentary as I can, is that your technique is so good that it disappears. That
Oh,
I don't
thank you.
hear a piano player playing Fannie Mendelssohn. I hear Mendelssohn. Does that make sense?
This is the best compliment ever.
It's
That is what
it,
what I need. Exactly this. Yeah, thank you.
it is just absolutely beautiful, and I could gush about it for another 20 minutes. There's it's just beautiful. But one of the other things that I really liked was the way it was recorded. What kind of a piano was it? Can I ask? I don't know why I've never asked this before, but what piano were you
It's
using?
a Bösendorfer grand piano. The
Okay,
Bösendorfer.
yeah,
Yeah.
that explains a lot right there. And I'm not a piano player, but you know, um, but what I noticed usually when I hear a soloist or even like a string quartet or some small ensemble like that or a soloist like I said, it's recorded in such a way that you sort of feel like you're in the middle of a recital hall or a concert hall. I felt as I listened to this that I could have gotten up off the couch and walked over and leaned on the piano. That there's an intimacy there without being overdone or without being drowned out or anything like that. And most producers won't do that because there's no room for the dynamics. It overwhelms the electronics. And this guy, whoever this person is, a guy or woman,
I will tell you. I will tell you. It's a woman. Her name is Karin Hanke,
uh-huh.
and I never want to record with anybody else. We are working
Well, if you
together
do, you should
since.
be shot.
Yeah, we are recording together since 2017.
Okay.
And after the first session, it was clear that I found my sound engineer. And I recorded until then, always with men. I never had a girl. And so she was the first woman recording. And it was love on the first glimpse. How do you say
Oh,
that? Yeah.
it was just,
So
I,
we have to sit together.
I have been in and out recording studios Well, when I first went into the recording studio, I had hair.
Yeah,
Long time ago. And I've done a lot of commercial recording, and I've done some producing and things like that. And I'm not going to say that I'm an expert, but I do have experience, and listening to that, uh, and the C.P.E. Bach also, same producer, right? Because it's the same sound. Did she produce this?
it was a nah, but that was close. It was also very good. It was also a very good Bösendorfer piano. The
Uh-huh.
hole was bigger, so it was a little bit easier.
Okay.
Where we are recording now, it is not so big, but we wanted this direct sound, so
Oh,
this intimacy. And it is not only her sound, she's fantastic in all technical things, but she's fantastic as an artist. She's also a pianist.
okay.
So
So
she's
she
also a
knows
pianist.
she knows what it's supposed to sound like.
Absolutely. And then what I love most is when she said, Anna, stop thinking. I can hear you thinking. Just play. And then I know she understands exactly where, all the vibes.
Right,
And
right.
I trust her blindly. So we don't discuss a lot. We don't speak a lot because it's clear. And I never discuss or answer or, yeah, but I just do what she said because the trust is so, what is,
That's for anybody who's never been in the studio or done anything like that. Having that kind of trust with a producer or an engineer it doesn't come easily. I've seen too many bad and heard too many bad recordings because somehow the producer or the engineer felt like they had to be in control and it has to be my way and things like that. And some of these people just get out of the way and make you sound like you, and it's just that was just anybody who's listening to this podcast right now needs to go out and listen to you, because this is how piano should sound. Yeah, I could listen, and I will. I have not heard more than about 3 or 4 tracks from the Mendelssohn, and only 2 tracks, I think, from the Bach. I am going to devour all of that within the next couple of weeks, and probably do a deep dive on some of the other recordings as well. It's just absolutely wonderful. So, but you're doing like complete um, catalogs. You're doing all of Fannie Hensel's stuff. You did all of C.P.E. Bach, right? The entire catalog,
yeah, yeah,
and all of Felix Mendelssohn.
yeah. It's the most complete recording existing right now in the world.
Wow, what? Congratulations on that in and of itself. But what drew you to that kind of a project? That's a big project.
For me, it's natural. I just, I'm from horoscope, I'm a Taurus,
Okay,
ascendant Capricorn.
okay.
So I have 8 horns, no, 4 horns and 8 hoof, I don't know how you call it. And I go through. If I start, I just go, I go. And I can't do half things. I'm not a cherry picker. I'm a worker. And when I start to dive into a project, then it's not a project. It's the phase of my life. It's a period of my life. It's not something I do, it's something I live. And I was, for example, yes, with Felix, I was so deep in the family, reading letters, reading even the financial things I was reading, how they talked, with the little problems, the little quarrels, about the neighbors, I was with them. And then all the time there was Fanny. Fanny was the central figure in the whole play. And I love Felix very much, but I was looking more and more on the side, and I said, Fanny, wait, don't go, I come to you, and I just have to finish. And then my fascination for her grow and grow, and it was a sort of falling in love, yeah, with this human being. She was touching me so deeply. First, from the point of view of Felix, because he was so keen on her opinion, and he was sort of dependent, addicted to her. If she wasn't approving something or she was criticizing, he would change immediately. It is not that he was, no, no, don't, I know what I'm doing. No, no, they were completely connected. And then I started to think about her more and more and to go into her life, because what a person, what a person. She was so generous. She was never jealous. Little things, yeah. Who is singing first the present for father's birthday? But, no jealousy, no real jealousy. She was, yeah, so generous, so great-hearted, big-hearted, such a wide and great soul. And then she was so intellectual, and she was witty, and she was sarcastic, and she knew the right answers in the right moment. So I read from biographers how she answered sometimes to Heinrich Heine, or what she answered to some people, or her comments. And so I said, people, this woman is the leader in the family. And then I started to go through her music, and I discovered a genius. Yeah. And then why should I take out a few pieces to present her? Of course, it must be a heavy work. It must have some weight. Yeah.
You got to have all of it to understand all of her.
Sorry?
You have to play all of the music to understand all of Fannie.
Yeah, of course. It's biographical. It's like a documentary. Yeah.
Were there any surprises? Were you surprised by
all the time. All the time. I knew some pieces, but no, I didn't expect this. No.
So,
There will be about, when it's finished, there will be about 80, 70, 80, 90, I don't know, first performances. I can't say really, because I was Googling what is recorded,
Sure.
but can't,
yeah.
yeah. But at least 70, if not, 80 is more probable.
First performances.
Yeah.
So,
And these pieces, they are not edited, so you have a lot of freedom. And the point is, the first pieces she published then when she was 40, and finally the family said, yeah, go and publish, and we will support you. She published the easy pieces because she wanted to be played.
sure.
And then some people know the year and the sonatas, some pieces from Italy, but not much more. And then when you start to read the Übungsstücke, the etudes, you understand, no, she had no intention ever to publish it. It's so difficult. It's so difficult to play. You need one more hand. It's something is missing,
Early Rachmaninoff.
Something between Liszt and very Lisztian. Liszt wrote a bit more pianistic, more somehow easier to play.
Right. Yeah, but
because he had more experience on stage, and he was more improvising, so he know the effects.
I see.
And when you play Liszt, it's always the effect of Liszt's music sounds much more difficult than it is.
Oh, okay. Right.
I recorded some composers where there is the other way around. They didn't understand it the right way. So I recorded, for example, Anton Urspruch, and you see it sounds not so good. It's very difficult. And therefore, nobody knows Anton Urspruch. Yeah, that was his problem, but I played him. And Fannie is somewhere there in between, because she was not willing to make any compromise for an effect.
Oh.
So if she had an idea, she just wrote it down, play it or not. Yeah. So this is my problem now. Thank you.
Yeah, that can be a challenge. So I guess the same questions about the C.P.E. Bach when you did all of that. Were any great surprises there?
Bach is unbelievable. Bach was my first love, and Fannie is my second of the big loves, yeah.
Sure.
And the rest are, love them all, but let's say that the really meaningful partners in music, in the spiritual world, is C.P.E. and Fannie. And when I was playing C.P.E., I couldn't get enough. I have to tell you now, because this is written nowhere, the 26 CDs I recorded in 13 months. Just once. And I had a baby. So my daughter was 6 months old when we started. And
So what
Yeah.
did you do in your spare time?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Giving
Oh
concerts,
my gosh.
and trying to understand and trying to survive. But in CPE, it was I let's say at the beginning you have this feeling of, wow, that's interesting, this is unbelievable, and then you seem I seem to go into it and then to know him, and I say, I understand. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, this is this. And it was more and more playing him all day, all the time, recording it. I mean, it was practically playing, recording in one.
Right.
Um, we had, I think, 40 recording days, changing the sound engineer because can't hear anything anymore. I was playing it, so they changed. And
I believe that. Yeah, that can be a problem.
yeah, yeah, they can't. I mean, both guys were great. And but we had to change it because the last session we had to finish for the CPE year, so we had a deadline, and I was recording 12 days in a row without a break. So they were changing 3 days the one, 3 days the other.
Wow. Yeah, because your ears get tired in a hurry. People don't realize
Yeah,
that. Yeah. So
but I was not tired. I was not tired of playing CP Bach. I was so sad when we finished. It was, I could start again, and they said, "Come, yeah, go away, let me alone."
do you still perform? Do you still give concerts?
Me,
Yes,
of course.
of course. Well,
Yeah,
I didn't see that in my research, so that's why I had to ask. So how many
no,
concerts are you
no,
giving in a
yeah.
year? How many a
I
year?
understand. I understand because there were the Corona years, and I slowed down a lot in the
Sure.
Corona years. And actually, I was a little bit fed up with the whole business, and it became so difficult. And then I had a few concerts with 30 people sitting there, and I said, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. I can't travel and be alone. And then you have the empty halls and you have the closed seats,
Right.
and then I said, I need a break. And so what you see in the internet is obviously the break of this.
Okay.
But I continued to play it in interesting concerts. And I played, for example, a lot of contemporary music. I recorded the whole Stefan Heuk and the piano concerto written for me of 47 minutes. So it was huge concerts. I practiced about 400 hours for this concert and concerto. And then also Michael Daimling, a dear friend, performed his first performance of his music. And so I did a lot of interesting projects. I founded a piano competition for amateurs. It was a big wish of my life because I want amateurs to play. And I finished my dissertation. I'm a doctor of musicology. And the research was about artistic identity, künstlerische Identität, Karriere und Lebensglück, artistic identity, career, and happiness in life. So
Wow.
there was big research of 5 years, psychological, philosophical, um, neurological, and from all sides, a huge opus magnum. And I finished this, so there was quite a lot. I read 500 books for this, and also founding this competition coming from the dissertation because I said, you know what? Actually, if I want to be really honest, I envy the amateurs
Oh
because
yeah.
they will never be corrupted. Yeah. I mean, I'm a full-blooded pianist, but I'm always measured. They compare me, they criticize me, and then they decide if they will invite me or not, and if I have enough clicks in the internet, and if I'm good enough. I don't care about these things. I just, I'm an artist.
Right. Let me,
Let me just play. And I started to envy the amateurs because they enjoyed practicing. They used practicing for their soul balance
sure.
and life balance. And I said, this is what music should be. And actually, the amateurs are sometimes the better and cleaner artists, simply less corrupted because I have to please, but I don't want to please. I don't
Right.
care if I please or not. And so I founded this with my dear partner assistant Paula Mutig. We are doing everything together, playing together. My ex-student, she studied with me, and I said we made now a competition for amateurs in the middle of Corona. So our first edition was in 21, And now we are, I think, the biggest in Europe or something. So people
Wow.
come everywhere because
Congratulations, that I applaud that, because I have I've written a couple of small articles on praising the amateurs. I've had students who played extremely well, and they won't even play for their family. They play for themselves. They go in a
uh,
closed room. If you want to hear me,
yeah,
put your ear to the door. I don't and I don't want to know you're there.
yeah,
And they play just to play. They love the music. They love the feel of the guitar in their hand.
yeah.
They love everything about it, and they don't want to be bothered with other people listening. They find that to be distracting, and it wrecks the music. And you stay on that side of the door, I'll stay on mine. But it's the amateur that in many ways supports the arts in every community. They're the ones that go to the concerts, and they bring their friends with them and their family members. Vladimir Horowitz once made a comment that he always assumed that up to half of the people in the audience didn't want to be there, that they were there because somebody made them come with them. And so he always tried to play something for them. He says because their time and their money is still valuable. So he would play something, and he would get criticized because he might play a couple of small Chopin preludes or something. But he knew that there were some people out there that don't know anything about classical music, don't know anything about piano, and they're there because somebody that they love made them come. And he said, and they deserve something too. It's those amateurs that show up and they bring others with them that allow us to have careers. It's the amateurs that take the lessons. It's the amateurs that get their children to take the lessons, and we create new amateurs from that as well.
But it's one important point for me.
Uh-huh.
Um, when I'm working with the academies, the Musikhochschule together,
Uh-huh.
and I'm in the committees of the curricula and all the things, I ask sometimes why shouldn't they read a book? And then I'm told that there is no space in the workload. And I'm a little bit tired of this, because when I work with students, with music students, and I say, if you haven't read the biography of Schubert, you can't understand him. You should know something about Beethoven's time,
Right.
about his, I don't know, why did he strike for Napoleon was a Kaiser, and then, he destroyed the first page of Eroica and all these things. They don't know anything. You can't understand music if you don't read. So I decided that here I'm a cherry picker. Not in pieces, but with my students, I'm a
Uh-huh.
cherry picker. And I make master classes for adult amateurs because three reasons.
Huh.
First of all, mostly they read, and they have read in their lives. Second, they know what is life about. They know
Right.
what it means to work, to get up early, to have a boss, to deliver if you're ill or not, to raise your children, to tolerate the puberty, and
Sure.
they know what life is, they know what illness is, and they know what loneliness is. And third, they really love music because they don't need to do it. And when I open our final concert of our Klavierzimmer in Köln, I always say, again, nobody is after winning a prize and after playing in this competition more famous or richer than before, just happier. Because you are not, you cannot feed your ego. You have no money. It's just joy. And this is what it should be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I so totally agree with that. So
Yeah.
it
And I
it
love my amateurs.
yeah. And particularly, I mean, when I'm working with adults, and when you're working with children, it's kind of a different dynamic. But when I'm working with adults, and they say, well, I'm not as good as you, and they start apologizing. I don't have a daytime job. this is what I do all day. I don't expect you to be, it takes hours. It takes a lot of hours of practice to play at a certain level, and you just don't have those hours to give. But the time that you do have can be spent on playing. And you know as well as I do, some of these small, intimate little etudes that are technically not too hard to play can be artistically very satisfying. You can really sink your teeth into them. And so it doesn't have to be hard to be good. And so it's always just a real treat to work with people like that and to watch them grow and just to enjoy. And I agree with you. Sometimes I have to say also that because of some, you probably haven't noticed, but I'm an old man. but I have I've developed through some other reasons. I've developed some minor tremors in my hands that come and go. And I can't control when they come and go. So I don't play publicly anymore because I don't know how that's going to kick in. I still record and I still do some other things, but it has allowed me to not worry about audience. It's allowed me to approach the music in almost like an amateur in many ways, which I've always thought of from the time I was a child. I've always thought about pleasing the audience and what am I going to play and putting together a program and all that kind of stuff. And now it's sort of like I can play whatever I want because I'm just playing for myself. And I find that to be very satisfying in a completely new way. So when I say I don't perform anymore and people go, oh, gee, that's a shame. No, not really. It's kind of working out to my advantage. I don't have all that backroom drama. I don't have to send out stuff. I don't have to worry. I don't have the phone calls. So it works out much better. So Ana-Marija, you know what? We're out of time. I can't believe this. I am so thankful that you took the time to come on the show, and I appreciate you very much.
It was lovely to talk. It's over.
It is. It
It's warmed up.
it didn't take long, did it? And so wow, I just enjoy this so much. I am so looking forward to everything. When Volume 2 comes out, let me know, and we'll put you back on, and you and I can chat some more. So I'm going to say thank you so much, and I hope to talk to you again real soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
I'd like to thank Ana-Marija Markovina for taking the time to come on the show. If you would like to know more about her, get her CDs, or get information on her music festival for amateurs, please go to the link below. I'd like to thank you too for taking the time to listen. If you enjoy these podcasts, please share your favorite episodes with your friends and introduce them to Creative Conversations with Roger Humphrey.